correctly as they're supposed to be said. Let's start with the male Russian names. You have probably seen these names before, but the question is, do you know how to actually say them the way they are supposed to be said? I often notice with my students that they recognize the names, but they pronounce it very much as the native English speakers would do. So they will apply, of course, their pronunciation of the English letters to the names. Let's start with our first example. Okay, let's get started with our first name. Our first name is, how would you say it? Is it Boris or is it Boris? The correct way to say it is Boris. Boris. This is because the stress goes on the E. So on the second syllable, not the first one. And this is a very common mispronunciation, especially for the native English speakers that I noticed, that they would stress the first syllable instead of the second. And because the second syllable is stressed, the O is then pronounced as A, Boris. Our second example is, I've seen this name so many times used in the movies, but they have never pronounced it correctly. They would usually say Ivan, so they stress the first syllable again. And even worse, they can say Ivan. Okay, I know that the letter E is the equivalent for the English I letter, but the thing is that this letter is never pronounced as the I sound. It's always pronounced as E. Okay, so you need to say Ivan, and the stress goes on the second syllable, not the first.